Zwom, doot, 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 doot. BMO.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another BMO Creative Fact About Fiction video. So this one is about one of my favorite characters of all time, and that is Willy Wonka. Now, as much as I love Gene Wilder's enactment of the character, action-wise, description-wise, or appearance-wise, other than a goatee on the chin, Johnny Depp's version was more similar to the original book description. Yep, it was a book written by Roald Dahl and published in 1964, and the second book, Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, I think was in 72. I've read them both. The story was first made a movie in 71, then again in 2005, and will soon be a prequel, which I hope is not designed to destroy the characters like they've done so many other of our favorite characters in movies here recently. Let's just hope, fingers crossed. And this thing comes out in December, I believe. Wonka is introduced and described as a little man with a goatee, wearing a purple coat, green trousers, and a top hat. He is high-spirited and moves quickly like a squirrel, they say. Though he later tells Charlie that he is much older than you think, quote-unquote. So, I first saw Gene Wilder in the musical that was made in 71 version as a kid, and it blew me away because it was the first time I had ever seen a movie where the bad guy was actually the main character of the movie. Yeah, I thought he was totally a bad guy, but he was a likable bad guy. Maybe what I thought wasn't actually there, but again, I've seen it so many times since, and I still feel the same way. He came across as a bad guy, kind of like a, I don't know, like these two here, right? Like Lex Luthor, or maybe Brain from Pinky and the Brain. That's what it reminded me of. Trying to take over the world in his own strange way. What I saw was that the chocolate factory itself was obviously a pocket dimension, because if you've ever seen Twilight Zone shows or Doctor Who, you know what pocket dimensions are about, right? The Tartarus and many of the episodes in Twilight Zone. You jump into a swimming pool or you go into a closet and you're in another dimension. That's the chocolate factory, right? The book even describes clearly that when the iron gates close behind Charlie, he turns around and looks, and he can't see the crowd or hear them anymore through the bars. You can just see the city, you don't see the people anymore. Very strange. So to me, Wonka obviously was not human. Maybe a djinn or an alien like Doctor Who. He could speak and understand many languages, including Oompa Loompa, and was much older than he appeared, of course, was crazy fast and never got tired, and was magical. He worked only with the Oompa Loompas, and they were the only things he seemed to care about, and saved them from their home world full of monsters like the rotten vermicious cnids, which in the second book they describe them, and they are very scary and dangerous, and they eat everything, and they're from the planet Vermes. And he was looking for someone that could be transformed, genetically modified, to become another quote-unquote Wonka like he was. So after all the experimental foods, chemicals, substances, and machines in the factory have the ability to physically and mentally alter humans without killing them, even giving them superpowers. Like, again, if you read The Great Glass Elevator, Wonka has a Wonka vitamin, it's called a Wonka Vite, that just by taking one, reduces your age by 20 years and regenerates any missing body parts instantly, within seconds. And this stuff was being shipped all over the world for decades, so who knows what the impact was of what he was doing. I've heard the idea that it's really a story about slavery, and Wonka is a symbol of a plantation owner using the Oompa Loompa slaves and not giving them the factory even though they built most of it, instead giving it to a poor white kid who quote-unquote earned it just by being good. Yeah, I never saw that, because as many times as I've watched it, the Oompa Loompas seem to be in charge. In fact, Wonka was kind of adopted into their tribe in both movies, and he loves and trusts them more than anyone else in the movies and in the books. So, anyway. Still, the direct theme, of course, of a poor honest kid winning out over rotten bad kids is the most common explanation of the story. But there's so much more to it than that, and I didn't really pick up on that when I was a kid. I didn't understand. There wasn't that much of a difference between Charlie and all the other kids, except Veruca definitely had more money, that was obvious. But otherwise, everybody was just kids, right? So, I don't know. What do you guys think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory story was really about? Leave a comment below. And that's going to do it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Go ahead and subscribe. Give a thumbs up for more BMO Creative Fact About Fiction videos. Thanks. Bye.